can support this show at patreon.com/ASA podcasting.
The wasteland is a post-apocalyptic mess as the sole survivor wanders out about to see the rest. Nuclear explosion sending out the gamma rays from deep within the core comes gross atomic waste. From deep within the core comes gross atomic waste.
Hello and welcome to the 449th edition of the Fallout Feed. I am Andrew, joined tonight by a flock of my favorite Fallout folks. Tonight, we've got Ray. What's up, Ray?
Hello.
Also, Jess. What's up, Jess?
Hey, Andrew. Greets, everybody.
And joining us for the next several weeks will be longtime show friend Will. What's up, Will? How are you doing tonight?
Hi, Andrew, Jess, Ray, everyone. I'm doing great. Thank you. Ready to get into some Fallout 3.
We're very excited to have Will with us tonight and for the Fallout 3 DLC Roundtable that we're starting tonight. And we are drawing some characters tonight, guys. So, always one of our favorite episodes of each season. Lots of chatter in the Discord and people excited about starting a new adventure off in Fallout. So we'll be concentrating on Fallout 3 this season and doing the DLCs. But we, of course, will start with our little buffer that we've been doing for the last couple of seasons, where you get sort of a free play to get your character started and established. And I don't know, what are you guys doing? I've heard lots of people chatting about running that main quest a little bit before seeing if they can complete it. Can you do that in 2 weeks? Jess, can you run through the Fallout 3 main quest in 2 weeks?
Well, technically, we've got 4 weeks because with 2 of our episodes and 2 feedback episodes, it'll be 4. So, yeah, you definitely could. I have a feeling most of us are just going to, pick a direction and start exploring. My strategy was to actually start that, get as far as Three Dog and finish up there. Maybe make it to Rivet City, but then just do side quests until. But we'll see where the momentum takes us, right?
T.O.
Is there a recommended level that you think people should be at by the time we start the DLCs? I've never actually done the DLCs. I've been through the main game a few times, but not the DLCs.
Yeah, me either.
That's what I'm excited about for this, is that a number of us haven't done the DLCs. When I haven't done all of them, I think, Ray, you have done all of them, right?
Yeah, but it's been a long time.
So I'd say you want to be at least level 10 before starting. And just so people do know the order we are doing our free play, 4 weeks free play. And then we're going to hit Operation Anchorage, then probably the Pit. And then we're going to do Mothership Zeta, just 1 episode. So maybe we'll stick them in there and finish up with Point Lookout. And then if we're like, ooh, okay, let's go on and do Broken Steel after that, we can. But that's not going to be on the schedule because we're not requiring the story this playthrough. And you have to finish the story to start Broken Steel.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, you just said you have to finish the main story to start Broken Steel?
Yes. So that's the one we're not doing. That's not on the schedule. The other 4 are.
I remember your game ends if you complete the main quest. Was that not 3?
It's 3, and that was before the Broken Steel. Broken Steel. Yeah, here's my spiel about it.
Spiel, yeah.
Before Broken Steel came out, which was kind of jarring to some people because they were not used to that in Bethesda games. It was kind of true to the story of the original Fallout, as we know after playing it. People are like, wait, but what? Yeah. I still have violins. I still have Nuka-Cola Quantum. What's going on? And so with Broken Steel, when that came out, they, of course, let you recover from your near-fatal instance. Spoilers for Fallout 3, I'm sure most everyone knows. And waking up in the Citadel, and you're able to keep going.
That's hilarious. All right. Well, tonight on the show, everyone, we're going to start drawing some characters. We've got people in the live chat, so we'll be participating, interacting with them as they're participating in the season. So we'll draw some characters for them as well. I assume Jess has already probably piped in there, but if you guys want to shout how many roles you want there in the live chat. And thanks for coming to hang out, live chat. You're always a vibrant part of the show, but these character draw episodes are always especially fun with the live Discord folks. So thanks for hopping on tonight, guys. So we'll go over our gameplay off the top of the show like we usually do. I think Will said he brought an excellent game that is the best one he's ever prepared. So get your hopes up really high for that. And then we'll do some character draws, iguana bits and such. Maybe a few shouts on the way out the door. But why don't we go ahead and just roll right in to our gameplay? Let's do a guest honors. Will, what have you
Oh,
been getting into this week?
yeah. So actually, not very much. It's been sort of a busy week. I haven't played anything since the weekend, which what's consumed my life basically since last August, October is Baldur's Gate 3. I'm
Mm,
I'm
very
I
nice.
talked about it last time I was on. I'm at an unfathomable like 600 hours almost on a single playthrough on it, but I'm very, very near the end. I expect to be finishing it this weekend, so looking forward to that.
Wow.
Yeah, like I was saying, like Jess, I saw you had mentioned somewhere that you might be starting Baldur's Gate 3 this weekend, right? Sunday,
This
maybe?
is the weekend. Yeah, I finished Starfield last week, as people know, and I knew if I started Baldur's Gate that it was
Yeah.
going to take. Yeah, basically, it's because of you. So thank you for being a cautionary tale, Will.
Oh yeah, no, you're welcome. And well, you should note from Jen too. Like, have you seen how much she's into it? That girl started way after me, and she's already on a third playthrough in Dark Urge, and she's
A lot of our friends
yeah,
loving
yeah.
the Baldur's Gate
In
3.
fact, she was telling me, Ray, that she sort of turned the No Man's Sky podcast into Baldur's Gate 3.
I don't know who would ever turn a podcast about one game into a show about
Yeah,
another.
yeah. Can
Completely
you
ridiculous.
imagine?
Who would?
It's appalling. But when I was reading, when I saw you said that, oh wow, so we could potentially be rolling credits at the same time. Jess could be on the intro and I'll be on the outro.
Yeah.
Finally, just as we go.
Are you? Does that game continue on after you finish the game?
So
You sort of beat the game and you're done, or
I
what?
think that's probably going to be it. They have a little bit of an epilogue. Like I said, I haven't finished, and I know, like I just mentioned, he can't believe I haven't finished it yet, which is a little bit ridiculous that I haven't. But some people play like how we do, Jess, right? And also, I think I said last time I was on it, some of it is just that there's no photo mode out for it yet, even though I think the next patch that they're releasing is expected to have a photo mode built in. And so I have this sort of this a mod and this whole roundabout effort, and it takes me like several minutes. Like once I adjust the picture and put the depth of field in and all that stuff, I have to click the render button, and I don't even know what the photo is going to look like yet. So then I have to wait a minute for it to render, and then when the picture comes out, I'm like, oh man, that doesn't look right and all that. So then I have to go through it all again, like and let it render all over again. All that. So that's one of the reasons it takes so long. Plus, I'm just trying to devour and like scour, like look through every single corner of the game as I can, just because I've just really enjoyed it so much. But I'll be finishing up just in time here to get into some Fallout 3 as a main game.
That's
And
amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
and actually, I was about to. I'm glad y'all announced it when you did because I was feeling I was almost because at this point, even though I love the game, obviously I raved about it nonstop. After so much time in it, starting to feel a little bit of fatigue.
Yeah. It's time.
I will be doing another playthrough of it, but I'm gonna take a little bit of a break. And I had just right before y'all announced that we were doing Fallout 3, I had just installed Red Dead Redemption 2. I was about to like start in on that.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, nope, okay, it's gonna be Fallout 3 instead of Red Dead.
I'm still 15 hours into that game.
Yeah, you're still stuck behind a tree or something? Or
No, it was my carriage. Yeah, the horse had a carriage, and I tried to thread the needle between two trees, and the carriage got stuck. And I couldn't. The horse couldn't go forward or backward, and I couldn't detach him from the carriage. I was just like, oh no, I can't move.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a little annoying thing like that that makes it hard to go back because like, oh, I don't want to deal with that. I just want to get into the game. I don't want to have to try to figure out what went wrong. And then it could be a deterrent. And then time slips by, right?
Well, and then I spent so much time trying to correct the issue that in the long run, it would have just been way faster and efficient if I had just scrapped it immediately, gone back a couple of saves, and redid it. Instead of,
Yeah.
but me trying to prevent myself from going back those two saves, I spent many hours trying to correct an issue that could have been corrected in 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah. I understand though. Sometimes when you get headstrong about just fixing something, figuring it out, like
Yeah.
it's like you've committed to a path, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Is a Baldur's Gate PlayStation exclusive? Is that right?
No, it's everything now.
Is it everything?
It came out on PC first. They wanted to get a Starfield sort of stole their drop date. And so they upped their launch by a month just to get out before Starfield. And then on PlayStation, it came out the same day as Starfield.
Mhm.
So they had a little bit of a head start, but just like I guess a month ago for the
Yeah,
Xbox thing. When was that?
Xbox released the same day as the Game Awards.
Game
So
Awards, right?
during Jeff Keighley's Game Awards, it was kind of a surprise drop, December 7th, I think.
Okay, yeah, that's right. I remember. Yeah.
Have you played Baldur's Gate 1 and 2?
I have played one, although I I don't really remember much about it at all. In fact, I think I may have talked about it a little bit. It's sort of a full circle thing for me because my first PC, once upon a time, was a Gateway 2000, first one I got, and my wife, as a birthday present or some kind of present, she bought me Baldur's Gate. She didn't know what it was. It was the first one. She's like, the guy at the store said you're gonna love this. I'm like, okay, all right, great. And so I did. I played it, and I remember really liking it, but at this point it was so long ago because that must have been like 96 or something. And I don't remember anything about the game play at all. Like I know there were characters that show up from that game in 3 again, and I didn't even
Don't remember
all
any
that
of it.
stuff. But yeah, so like I thought it was funny though because that was my first computer and my first computer game on it, and then I've spent forever not having a computer, and then just recently, as I've talked, I put together a new gaming PC,
Yeah.
and of the first game I got is another Baldur's Gate game, so it like came all the way back around. So I named my character the same exact name as I did way back then, and I talked about it. But
So you can come
so
back
it's fun.
to it in another 20
Yeah.
years for Baldur's
Yeah.
Gate 5 when you get another new gaming PC.
Yeah, and I was excited. I saw you mention in the Discord, Jess. You brought up that Gabriel Knight series.
One of my favorite series,
That
absolutely.
so my second game I ever played was Beast Within, and I love that game. That was my favorite game for a really long time. I love
That's
that one so much.
Gabriel Knight 2, The Beast Within, one of the best FMV games ever made. People that don't know, Gabriel Knight was a series of games from Sierra Online. There were 3 of them.
I didn't even
Everyone
know
was
there
a
was more
different
than that one.
style, but Beast Within was FMV. That's full motion video,
Oh,
which
okay.
some of them were
About to
so
ask.
cheesy. Yeah, some of them were so cheesy, like soap opera vision. But Gabriel Knight was actually did a really good job with it.
Well, that's cool, and yeah, so I loved it. So
That's so awesome.
that's why when you mentioned it, I was like,
Ish.
oh my God, I forgot about that game. It's so good. I can't believe Jess is talking about it. Because you said someone was streaming, not that one, but a different Gabriel Knight, right?
Yeah, a streamer I occasionally
Yeah.
watch pulled up the third Gabriel Knight. So I was
Oh,
super
okay.
psyched about that and I mentioned it, and then you did.
So you think 3 looks good enough? Because I'm pretty sure, as much as I loved Beast Within, I'm pretty
So
sure I couldn't go back and play it.
out of all the Gabriel Knights, I know there's some digression here. Forgive us.
I'm sorry.
Gabriel Knight 1 would be the first I would recommend, Sins of the Fathers. First of all, there was a 25th anniversary re-release, but also FMV, like you can do 2. 3 is the one I would least recommend playing again because it was very early days of 3D. It's very hard to play a point and click adventure in.
And so, so that's great. That's awesome to hear about. That was like it on my Baldur's Gate 3. As I said, I'll probably be finishing that up this weekend. And other than that, the only real thing I've done is sort of anticipate my character role here tonight in Fallout 3. I went ahead and installed it on the PC, tried to get my mods all working and everything. I've been a little bit nervous because a lot of people seem to be having some difficulties here. And then your words from last week are in the back of my mind, Andrew, when you were like, I can't wait for in the middle of the season when all these PC guys with them are like, well, that's it. My game doesn't work
Oh,
anymore.
sorry,
My season's done.
Can't play. Done.
Yeah.
So, what mods did you decide that you
So
needed?
I ended up, I initially, because I'm sort of new to it, I thought I was just gonna, all right, I'm just gonna do a collection because I figured they would be a little bit more like vetted because they're supposed to be working orders, right? Like a whole load order and everything that work together. And so I just searched it by the highest rated collections, which that was this one called the Fallout Rebirth Plus, which I guess is also like the largest collection on there. That one's like 240 mods, and then they have a couple of collections that go with that collection that add some, and you get close to like 400 mods or something on there. It was a lot, but I was like, well, it's the highest rated. It must work. So I went with that one.
Good philosophy. Highest rated. It must be
Well,
great.
I mean, people aren't going to thumbs up the collection if it doesn't work, right? That was my thinking. So, I don't know.
Yeah,
And
that's a solid plan.
yeah. And it was working, or I thought it was working. I thought my game was working, except I guess it didn't have Fallout, this extender installed properly. Or one of the things I was unaware of is that you have to sort of downgrade or roll back your version of Fallout 3 that you have installed. Like instead, it's like 1.0, you need 1.073 instead of 1.074 or something like that. And so I ended up uninstalling that whole collection. And this time I was like, I put the script extender in first, nice and slow in that. And then I did the downgrade patch like you're supposed to do. And then instead of just installing that entire collection, I was like, well, I need to be careful. I started seeing all the problems people were having in the Discord, including you, Ray. Did you get that fixed?
It's certainly possible.
Okay. Okay, I guess we'll let you talk about it in a little bit. But I went through them all the 240, sort of just one by one, and cherry picked the ones that I thought I really needed, and most of it really what I want is just the game is pretty old, so I want to texture packs and things to just sort of liven it up a little bit and make it look better. And so that's what I did, and I have it working right now. I've been around to Megaton and all that, and everything's great. I will say the one thing that, well, there were a couple of things I noticed by going through them one by one. You know, that whole thing where I just said it should be vetted, and like you should just be able to download the collection and it makes sense and work and run. I did notice there were things like I went down one. I saw this one. It's called Caillou's Ballistics. This is one of the mods in the collection, and what that does is it adds visual effects to the muzzle flashes and just makes it a lot bigger and all that stuff. One of the comments I read was someone was like, "Oh my gosh, my shotgun takes up the entire screen and all that stuff," and I was like, "Okay," and it's like maybe I don't really need that one, you know. And then I got down to another mod later it's just in the same collection, and this mod was no muzzle flash lights, and I was like, well. Well, why do you have both of these mods in the same collection? So I realized my flawed thinking in that just because it's a collection, it should be perfect.
It's quite possible, too, that while it looks like duplication, they may have other effects that aren't as listed or right on the label. Like sometimes one may modify sound more, one may modify visuals, even though they look like they're doing the same thing. Or, you know, the aesthetics of the person curating the mod collection.
Yeah. Well, and I noticed too when we did our Fallout 4 modded playthrough last time, I remember when I was looking for some of the mods, some of them would be like, "Oh, this mod is perfect. This is kind of just what I want." And then you read the description and it's like, "Oh, and just for fun, I decided to add this." And it was like some cheat or something added onto the character. I don't want that.
Yeah.
You ruined a perfect mod by adding that on there. Yeah.
I don't need a chest with like 100 circuit boards in the middle of my settlement. I don't need this. Or like there's one mod that I like for Sanctuary that gives you a modified deliverer right out of the gate. And I'm like, I like the mod. I don't need the ultra powerful deliverer. And so you can be good and scrap it. But if you don't, you're always tempted.
Yeah. And so yeah, that's it. My collection seems to be working now. We'll wait. I've been waiting for the character role to really get in and explore and do that much. The only issue, not really issue I have is there's one mod. It's the sprint mod that works. It works, and it was working great before my Fallout script extender was working, except with Fallout script, when it wasn't working the way it would work, because I play on controller, like I have no control over the mouse and keyboard. It's just that style of play eludes me. I'm terrible at it. But the way you do that is you hotkey the sprint to your D-pad. And then so that way I could use the controller and I could just hit the D-pad and it would sprint for 4 or 5 seconds or whatever till I run out of AP and go off. And I love the way it worked. But then now that the script extender is working, they took away that function. And the only way I can sprint is I have to use a key on the keyboard. I can't put a button on the controller. So they've made my life a little bit harder by working it perfect by running it correctly.
Yeah. You have to get a foot switch.
I didn't know that was something, but all right. It could be a thought. And I wish I would get it sort of figured out. I have the Microsoft, the Elite Controller Pro 2, whatever that thing is.
Yeah, I love the Elite too.
Yeah. I love it. And it's remarkable. Like it's very programmable on the Xbox. I'm able to like make it do all sorts of things I don't want to do, yet I hadn't figured out how to assign keys from my keyboard to it if I want to play it on PC.
I haven't tried using the Elite on a PC.
Yeah.
I would assume you'd still use the accessories app and maybe like have some kind of macro thing in Steam, but I don't know.
Maybe one day if I can figure that out, it'll be work. But that's it. That's all I did. It's a little bit of Baldur's Gate 3 and just getting these mods and waiting for our character here.
Sounds good. I know Jess is really good about juggling a bunch of games. Are you a one game at a time generally? Will you concentrate on Fallout 3 for the most part, or
I okay. In the past I was always sort of just one game. Like that's what I want to do because I think you've talked about having this problem before. Like maybe once you leave, and you come back for a little bit. It's always hard to remember exactly where you were and button configurations and you sort of lose just steam a little bit. And it's been difficult for me, but now these days, I think maybe 76 changed me a little bit. I started for a while, the only thing I played was 76, but then since it never ends, started getting into a few different games, playing other things at the same time. And then I started juggling a bunch for a while. I think now I'm mostly back into where like I like to have one larger game going and then every now and then throw in like get a smaller game or two to mix in. Like I was talking about with some of the fatigue I'm feeling a little bit with Baldur's Gate 3. Like some nights I'm not ready to get into quite all the battles I'm going to. So I was looking up some other just small games I can play just when I don't have the mental faculties for it. Yeah, and that's why I would look up, even though it's a large game, I was looking up Red Dead Redemption 2. I was like, I might start this in my in-between time.
It's better to start small games in the in-between time. That's my little palate cleanser thing. It's the whole Game Pass situation.
Yeah.
You go to Game Pass, you grab a few games friends have mentioned or recommended, play one or two, and then move on to the next big one.
Yeah, well, I did. I bought this game off Steam. Gosh, what is it called? It's not Maid. It's something about it was really highly rated. It's something about this maid that she goes and she cleans up people's rooms in the hotels. It's set in like the 50s or something. And but she's a little bit too nosy. She like snoops through people's drawers and things like that. Yeah, but then she uncovers maybe things she's not supposed to, and it's this whole drama. And so like it actually seemed really good. People all said it was like a really good source. One, it was very highly rated on Steam. So I went to go play. I did that one. I thought this was going to be a perfect game. I went to go play that one, and it really did not run well for me at all. Like, I guess it was working, but like when she would walk across the room, like sometimes she would just slide across the room standing on one foot, and it was jittery. And I don't know, maybe I just had a weird install. That's it. Yes, that's it.
This bed we made. Yeah. Okay.
So I didn't read anything about all these other people having all these problems. Maybe I just had a weird install of it. That's one I tried to install that one last week. I did that last week. And then after an hour.
So your palate cleanser was more of a frustration. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, and so actually, and that'll be great. We'll see how much time, maybe, I don't know if I'm gonna be like Fallout 3 kind of as my main game, or because sometimes we have a sort of a slow schedule. It's not too hard to catch up. Maybe during the open play, I'll probably focus on just Fallout 3, and then once we get to the quests, it'll slow down a little bit. Like it won't be as like,
exactly. Yeah, you'll get to the DLC. You'll do the DLC for a few days, play through it all, and then hit the other game for a bit.
So I'm thinking when I do that will probably be, even though I installed Red Dead Redemption 2, I'm going to put that on the back burner again. I've been waiting years to play that game. But then that'll probably actually be when I start Starfield. So
beautiful. I can't wait for you to get into it. We're do-si-doing. We're going to swap games.
Yeah, we are. We really are, yeah.
Jess, are there video games that come out that you don't know anything about?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
But yeah, there are so many games being made these days that it's impossible to keep up. Like if it comes to Game Pass or it's an Xbox main release, I'll probably be aware of it. But yeah, there's so many indie games out all the time.
Awesome. All right. Thanks for the gameplay there, Will. Super excited to get to character draw here in a little bit. But let's go ahead and check in with Ray and see what Ray got into this week. Do you have a chance to play any video games, sir?
I played a few video games. Yes, I did. Before the show last week, I had gotten my Fallout 3 install set up and I got mod collection going and I was trotting around the wasteland, having a good time, just kind of getting back into the game and then put it down for a few days. And on it was Monday or Tuesday this week. I thought, okay, I better kind of get back up, get things rolling, see where I'm at. And so I opened up Fallout 3 and crashed the desktop. I'm like, that's weird. So I tried again, crashed again. I'm like, okay, crap. So I disabled all my mods. Vortex has a handy little purge button that you can push to take all the mods out. So I did that and still crashed the desktop. And so I'm like, okay, fine. So I deleted everything and reloaded it and crashed the desktop. And so no, I went through all of the set this permission, do this compatibility setting, make sure that your INI file has these lines in it and all that stuff and still crashes the desktop. So at that point, I'm in a little bit of a panic.
Right.
Um, and so I came up here to the studio and hopped on my ancient PC because I figured that, trying to run old games on new PCs can be problematic. So I decided to run it on my crappy old 2-year-old computer. And I downloaded the Game Pass version and it runs okay. So far, we'll see how long that holds up. I may have to dust off an even older PC and see if I can remember the path to get into it. But
You need to install Windows 95, Ray.
yeah, I'm sure I've got a copy of that around here somewhere.
It'll work a charm.
But I know I at least have some hard drives with XP on them.
That'll probably work.
So you're just going to go with the vanilla playthrough then?
At this point, I have to have some kind of a solid install to be able to do my character on. So
So
we'll see.
you're not even certain why or what caused it. You're playing the GOG version.
Yep.
Are you
Yeah.
thinking about doing textures and such that should be fine, or are you just going to be hands
Well,
off just in case?
that's all my collection was textures. So it was just baffling. And then to not even be able to completely wipe it clean and start all the way over. I mean, I even went as far as I deleted the GOG software and reloaded that.
You used to load it?
Yeah. But it just, whatever happened. And I mean, there was no Windows update because that's not until, next Tuesday. And there was no video driver update. There was no Vortex update. So I have no idea where the trigger was that just completely shut it off. I get through the starting sequence, but as soon as I click on either continue or new game, it crashes. So definitely a little bit annoyed by that, but I'm thankful that I have other opportunities. And Lou was teasing me about having to play it on Xbox, but the closest I'm going to get to playing it on Xbox is the Xbox version on my PC. So
Game Pass.
There you go. Yeah, playing vanilla is the closest you're going to get. That's frustrating. I mean, setting up mods can often be a troubleshooting sort of situation. But in this case, with the collection and all that, like you shouldn't have had to go through what you did.
yeah. Well, and I came to the realization that it had nothing to do with mods
Mm-hmm.
because when I stripped all of that out, it still crashed. So It was definitely something the PC, suddenly realized that I was trying to run a really old game on it. And it's like, no,
Changed its
not
mind.
on me. You're not running this. So that was aggravating, but in the grand scheme of things, it's really not that big a deal. So just more of a hassle. I can use the exercise. Having to climb up the stairs an extra couple of times a week is going to be okay. I knew that the Starfield update was coming, and so I had my automatic updates turned off for Starfield. So when that came through and started trashing everybody's installs, I was doing okay. And then I did get a little bit caught. So I saw that the mods had been updated. So I went ahead and loaded the new mods and then ran the update manually. And it still crashed on me. I did it like 5 minutes too early because the Baka achievement enabler hadn't been updated at the time that I ran all my updates. But by the time I had problems with it and started going through my mods to find out what the offender was, they uploaded their update. So once I identified which mod was having a problem, I ran the update and got it back up and running. So it's all peachy keen now. I talked about it on the show last week, the Planet Bound character. So I have been playing that character out, and she got her nice little outpost on Aquila's main planet and makes regular trips to Aquila City to sell, her goods.
Hmm.
And she did set up an alternate outpost up on the ice cap of Aquila. So she's got a little argon and benzene farm going up there. And so I had gone around to a few of the landmarks. I've got the whole planet surveyed and everything. And, it gets to a point in the playthrough where now it's just a routine. You've got to wait for your extractors. Then once they're done, then you can make your magnets, and then you can take your load of magnets and hike to Aquila City.
Do you still have goals? Like, do you hit a point when it's routine? Can you still have goals where you want the character to go? Or is the routine kind of like the top level play or end game for a character like this?
It's kind of the end game for that because I'm not really sure what else to do with a character like that because she can't leave Aquila. So the frontier doesn't exist. And so you can explore the planet, but what's that going to get you?
Yeah, no, there's not a whole lot to exploration, as we know, besides fixed location. You're going to be able to see most everything on Aquila if you have tons of landing sites, I imagine.
So I was happy about one thing. I learned something that I didn't know about about Starfield.
Oh,
I've never gone into a civilian settlement
oh yeah, those can be cool.
because I've never had any use for mere mortals.
You're like, I don't want companions. Why would I want random civilians? Fair.
Yeah. And they're always asking you to do stuff. But I discovered that some of them have legitimate vendors. So that was fun. That's something that I would have never really run across. So because I was kind of getting, that one played out a little bit, I thought, well, what about a character that never leaves space?
So you never land?
Never land.
Like a total spacer? Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. You would go space mad for that.
So I came across a mod that adds more material to asteroid fields. So instead of shooting this giant asteroid and getting 2 iron, now you can get a variety of different materials from mining an asteroid field. And you can also get junk parts from mining the debris fields. So I'll do that.
That's interesting. And I mean, in order to get to the point where you had, say, the key as your primary base, You'd have to do some stuff on the ground to be able to get the quest in the first place, I think.
Yeah.
There would be a few things like you'd have to decide what rules you would have on how much you could land, if at all, for that. But
Yeah. So at this point, I'm kind of looking at only being able to land on planets with 50% gravity or less.
Mhm.
So I'm basing the premise off of Belters from the Expanse. So Belters, when they go even to Mars, which has, I think it's like an 8, 9 or something like that. It's less than one gravity. The Belters had a problem being on the planet surface.
Right, they were very long.
And so that's what I'm going with. So like planets can't have more than, 50% gravity. And I'll concentrate on space stations and I'll be visiting Wolf a lot.
It's definitely the kind of thing that may be easier once there are mods to accommodate that sort of situation. Something that can actually replace the main quest or allow the main quest to be accessed from other locations, because so many things are planet based. And certainly Aquila and Jemison are high gravity. Neon, I'm not sure what their gravity is, but I don't know if you go to any of them.
At this point, it doesn't look like it. Aquila is higher than 1. I think they're a 1.5.
Yeah, they are. They're very heavy.
But yeah, and I haven't done a quest in months.
Quest schmest. Yeah, no wonder you're kind of following the loop with your planet bound character. Because what quest would you do after a while?
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably been maybe October.
Most of the repeatable. Oh, wait, really? Like, even on this character, what about when you go into Aquila? I mean, there are plenty of quests that are on the same planet you could do.
Yeah, I just don't do quests. So, and a lot of times, a lot of questing and stuff that you do, you end up having to leave the planet. They're like, oh, you have a spaceship. You can go do this for me.
Yeah. Everything on the mission board sends you another location entirely.
Yeah.
You're lucky if it's the same solar system.
Right. So that's what I'm doing right now, is seeing what I can make out of that. So I know it does, make a limited life character, but I mean, that's what I've always been about. So
yeah. I mean, you made it 3 days on your very hard grind characters. So
yeah. Yeah. Before they were so powerful. I just finished up another one. Every single weapon he's got, every helmet, pack, and spacesuit are all, superior and advanced 3-star legendary maxed out.
I think you should do a Matt Damon as the Martian character. Okay. You settle on Mars. Not completely solo like Matt Damon, but like just make a Martian character, because Cydonia is a neat microcosm of everything you need, because you can get repeatable requests at the UC distribution exchange there. So you get all those repeatable quests constantly there for different missions, send you all over the planet. You can get everything you need at Mars, but it's still a very different environment and much less of a city than most of the rest. I think that could be interesting. See where it takes you. Or speaking of Belters, just stay in the solar system.
Yeah, if they just don't have the space stations that you need. There's no Ceres station to be able to hang out on.
Yeah, that sounds fun though, like making it sort of copying the Belters thing. Because I know even in the show they talk about that, how gravity is used as a torture, right? Like it's been outlawed.
Yeah. And Clint mentioned that I could live on the eye, which really I could, because that requires that you do that first quest with what's her dinkle. But that is where you go to the space station and then to a ship in Mars in Venus orbit. So that would all be space bound. So the one thing I know is when I'm fighting legendaries and I reload, anytime I get a weapon that has the space legendary effect, because the weapons that you can't use on a planet are pretty useless. Now that I need them, I know there's no way in the world I'm ever going to get one, because that's just the way they roll, where every third weapon, has that trait on it. Now that I need it, it won't. So
Yeah, that's how it works. While we're talking about different ideas you can do with it, what you were saying before doing this, you'd hit a point where you may just stop playing Starfield for a bit too and get back into all the other repeatable games until there's more content.
Yeah, but it is a fun game.
Oh, absolutely. I know you've got a lot of them.
Yeah.
So,
And I'll be hitting you up pretty soon, Ray. Like I know you've talked about Star UI, but when I go to
Oh yeah,
my soon to be playthrough of Starfield, I'm gonna be looking for some mods, but I'm not gonna want to change the way you should play through your first time too much.
yeah,
I'm gonna be looking for like the true to the game type stuff that will help like my quality of life. Like the Star UI is the only one I know, but or I've heard you mention that
yeah,
you would recommend playing even if it's your first
yeah.
playthrough, right?
It's definitely the way that menus should have looked in the first place.
Yeah.
So
And are there many others that you would say for your first playthrough you'd still recommend, or probably not? Mainly just help.
yeah, there'll be a couple, they just kind of fix weird little things that shouldn't have been done that way. So,
Yeah.
and then when I was having all my modded game troubles, I knew I always had Skyrim to go back to
had to seek refuge in Skyrim.
because I have my Skyrim, locked and bolted and chained, and there is no one at all that can screw up my game but me. So I don't have to worry about that one. I don't run any updates on any of my mods. I don't run updates on the game. The game cannot possibly, it will be impossible for the game to update itself
Right.
because Steam will occasionally reset your settings. So normally I would suggest that you put your update setting to only update when you launch the game because typically when you're modding, you're not launching it through the game launcher, you're launching it through a script extender. And so the game won't update. But Steam can change that setting. You've got to go into your properties and get the game ID. And then you have to go into your Steam apps folder and find the corresponding manifest file,
Okay.
and then go in and make that manifest file read only.
Oh, beautiful.
And so no matter how bad Steam wants to update that file, if it can't write to that manifest file, it cannot update the game.
Wow. See, I thought you were going to like firewall the app somehow so it couldn't reach out to the internet or something.
No, no,
But
no. It's just that one little manifest file. The thing is that they're not. They're all using the game's ID, so you have to know the ID of the game, and then but you can look that up if you look in the properties. It's in the properties tabs, but it's worth the trouble. The first time you run into a situation where the game automatically updates and then it borks it for you.
mhm.
I thought you were going to say the solution is to just unplug your Ethernet cable.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
no,
one.
there's too many things that rely on that.
Yeah, you still need the thought. Like I was gonna ask you too. You set it to only update when you launch it, right? But
Mhm.
then you also, or because I have my Baldur's Gate 3 is modded like that, and then I also have to go into Steam and go into offline mode or something, or log out of Steam,
Mhm.
right? And then I always forget. I have to remember because sometimes I go into Steam and I want to look around and browse the store and all that stuff, but I have to go back online and then I have to remember before I leave to go back offline and this whole thing. Is there a shorter way of going about that? That
Well, if you just don't want the game to be able to update, but you want to still have your Steam online, then you still want your Steam to save your progress. If you have multiple devices that you like to move your Steam files to, you want that connectivity. So if you go into those manifest files and make them read only, then
Okay, so that sounds like maybe something I should do because I do want that because well one, it's not just that Baldur's Gate is modded. I mean I have it modded, but I've been like I was installing Fallout 3 and all that stuff. I'm turning it on and I'm downloading games and stuff, so I have to remember to turn it on. But and then also like when I've had it offline for such a significantly long time, when I do go back to play Baldur's Gate 3, all of a sudden, like if it's online, it wants to sync my save files.
Trying to play offline is a harder way to keep your game from updating. So just use the manifest files, and that that locks it down for you.
Okay.
And it doesn't always cause trouble. It depends on the game and the way it's modded and such. Usually updating is a good thing.
Oh yeah. Well, I've already had
Yeah,
learned my lesson with Baldur's Gate 3 when a patch came through that I didn't have that don't
yeah.
update for, and then it broke everything. Yeah.
If you're modding, updates are your enemy.
Yeah, it's interesting the number of branches that mods generally work on. Like you'll notice when you look over mods on the Nexus that they'll be like this one runs on 1.5.78 and like there are 3 or 4 versions that most everybody uses and some mods are like, yeah, use it on this version, don't update past this. And it's amazing to think there are that many branches out there still.
Yeah, and especially recently because
The
Bethesda
launch
has
of the creations
made
platform.
some significant changes as they developed the Starfield engine that showed them some opportunities for different ways to manage files. And so they've rolled that back down through the other games, but because those type of files are not compatible with files that don't use that system, that's what broke so many Skyrim mods, was that they were just not compatible.
Mhm.
And it was more than just the usual. There's 2 main programs that are version dependent. So the script extender and address library are both dependent on the version number of the game. So they have to be updated. They can't run on the previous version, even if they didn't really change anything. And so you couldn't let those updates happen, on Fallout or on Skyrim until they had the new version uploaded. And they're doing this with huge numbers of employees. When Starfield had its first update and we ran into problems because address library hadn't been updated, and it was because the guy that does address library had COVID and was too sick to get on his computer and program the update. And
Mhm.
so he managed to go on and say, sorry, I can't do this right now. But that's just the reality of modding. So the moral of the story is don't update your game
Just don't do it. Don't do it.
until you are sure
100%.
that it's okay to update your game. Just don't do it.
Oh, that's funny. But I'm glad your Skyrim is working lockdown. I'm glad your Fallout 3 is running now. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard. Starfield is hard to quit you. I mean, did you have any more gameplay, Ray?
No, that was it.
Okay, then I mean, in order to get into my gameplay, Starfield, I finished it. It's hard to quit you.
Yay.
I've loaded in a few times to take pictures this week, but I haven't actually played almost anything. This has been one of my most games-free weeks in a long time. And here's why. Here's why. So after Starfield, I want to start Baldur's Gate 3. And as I said earlier, I know if I do, it's going to catch me. So I kind of like Power World did the week before. I got a little Power World in. I got a little Starfield in. We've got a little bit, we've got, gosh, almost 2 months still left in the season. So I'm okay. We know the season is switching on March 26th. So I haven't needed to go into Fallout 76. This is probably the largest break I've taken from 76 outside of when Starfield first launched. I don't think I've been in for a good 2 weeks in Fallout
Nice.
76. I know. Isn't that ridiculous?
I don't know. To hear you say 76 was your favorite game now, has that opinion changed since Starfield is out now? Is Starfield your favorite game?
Well, I mean, favorite game is odd. I think 76 is my favorite Fallout game now.
Yeah,
But I've gone
which
back
blew
to
my mind at that point.
I've gone back to sometimes, well, maybe Fallout 4 is my favorite Fallout game again now. You know what I mean? Like those two still vacillate. And as far as my favorite game ever overall, there's a couple contenders.
How much of that is recency bias, though? You know,
A significant portion. Yeah. When you dive into something that deeply, it's not necessarily that you love what's most recent more. It's that the feelings connected to stuff in the past, while they might be there for nostalgia purposes, they're not quite as strong. You know? So, like, I'm loving Starfield. I feel like Starfield could become Bethesda's best game ever. I've said that and I mean it, but is it my favorite? It varies all the time, right? It
All right,
really
so
does.
what would Starfield's version of Fallout Shelter be? What could they do for a little mobile pocket game that would be fun?
Oh, well, we've had a couple of ideas talking about it before, but I think a space
The
station.
lock picking, of course, but
Well, that would be great on its
that
own,
aside.
right? Do you like a Starfield pub games? Like 3 or 4 different mini games could be really fun. You have to do like a mining mini game. Oh, definitely do the gaining powers mini game. No spoilers for Will, but no, that's the worst. People get so tired of that. But yeah, the luck pick. I think a space station game. Don't you, Ray? Like that would be kind of fun. Build a space station, maintain it, run it.
Yeah, that would be good. And then you could have a section that you let pirates land in, have that sectioned off from the UC and the Freestar that come and dock and do business.
That actually sounds kind of fun. Yeah, you'd have an empire, like East Empire Company, but in space. Anywho, my gameplay. I didn't play much this week. The only other thing I'm doing is because it's February, I've restarted the Fallout ABC hashtag on Twitter. So I'll be taking ABC picks on Twitter again this month for both Fallout and Starfield this time.
You did that last February,
Yeah,
right?
because
Yeah, because it's a perfect sort of length
February
month.
is a good month for it with 28 days. I can Valentine's Day is for
Take it off.
take it off or just stuff you love. And then the 28th is just kind of a little wind down. So it works out. So I'm doing that again. But besides taking
So
photos,
would your Starfield picture for the second be walking into Constellation for the second time? While you're on New Game Plus for Groundhog's Day.
we're going through the alphabet one day at a time.
Oh yeah, it is funny that Maddie brings up in chat there brings up a point. This is a leap year, so extra day.
It is.
There is 29 days. This is a leap year. I didn't realize.
Seems
that it
like
is
forever since we've
a
had
leap
the
year.
last one.
Yeah. We were talking about TV shows on the Discord the other day, Will, and catching up on shows and such. So after I caught up on all the Who that was available to me 3 weeks ago, I went and watched the first 2 seasons of Torchwood this past week.
Okay, we were talking. Okay.
Yeah, when I went to sit and play game, I can't start Baldur's Gate. I can't, Jess. I can't start Baldur's Gate. I got to be responsible. Okay, well, I've got 2 hours to kill. I could work on something. No, I don't want to work on something. 2 episodes of Torchwood a night, maybe 3. And yeah, so I watched all that. Great show. Still love it. Glad to be back in the Whoniverse.
Yeah, I've still never seen Torchwood. I did. I actually watched some Doctor Who though this last week, and I think it was the end of one of the seasons, but they had gone to the end of the universe or whatever, and then they came back. But they had the guy from Torchwood traveling around with them, trying to solve the whole problem. So that's funny. Just I don't know if you remember that. It was like a 3-episode season finale or something, I think.
Yeah, that's a wonderful season finale. Really good one.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to getting Fallout 3 running. I'll be installing that, getting that all set up for our game, and obviously starting Baldur's Gate next week, starting both of them at once. I really should put Baldur's Gate off longer to really get into 3 properly, but I'll do both. It'll be fine.
I cannot believe you haven't installed Fallout 3 for a rough test run yet.
It's installed and running on the Xbox, but all this talk in chat has got me tempted to maybe I should install it on the PC. You would think that Ray's talk would discourage
After
me.
Ray's story, yeah.
I can't back down from a challenge. I'm like, well, geez. And
he's almost playing on Xbox now.
the thing that is the worst part of it is the fact that last time we did a Fallout 3 playthrough 4 years ago, I had to admit defeat because my install did basically the same thing. I got a week and a half, 2 weeks in, and had to restart my character because it just stopped working and I couldn't get it running.
Y'all have me so nervous. This is gonna go so bad for me.
I mean, it's tough, I think, unless you're really
I,
used to it and willing to put up with it.
yeah, at least fortunately this time I have an Xbox too. Because when we did the round table last time, I had PlayStation. It was a PlayStation 4, and we did. I don't even remember how I played it, but you can't play Fallout 3 on PS4. I had to, I think, what was it? The PS Now, like the subscription streaming service. That was the only way I had to play it through there. But then I remember I was all aggravated because there's no screenshots. They disabled the screenshots during the streaming because they don't want you recording movies and stuff if you're doing that. But
Yeah.
I was taking pictures of my screen with my telephone.
Oh, boy.
You're right. You're right, though, guys. Given all the trouble people are having, there
Yeah.
are second thoughts there for sure.
I do figure when I get my character rolled, I'm gonna go ahead and get that character up and running, or at least have that character made and get out the vault on Xbox also, just in case I do run into some issues and I have to switch. But looks great on PC. I love this. It looks significantly
Oh,
better. Yeah.
I'm excited about that. It's like watching Ray play New Vegas with everything installed last time. It's like so pretty. Just want to dive into it. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll be taking a lot of Fallout photos in Fallout 3 for the ABCs too. That'll be
Nice.
happening.
Perfect. Yeah.
So that's me, Andrew. Have you
What's up?
actually had a chance to play games this week? Seeing as I've kind of let everyone down.
Last week I talked about how Starfield I was lacking resources because what I wanted to do was go build because I haven't built anything yet. So I established a settlement where my house would be in real life now on Earth, and then went to build, and I couldn't really build anything because I don't have anything yet. This is a fresh, brand new character. So you guys gave me some nice suggestions of things to go do, and I haven't done any of that yet. So my Starfield is kind of stalled there. The only other game I was playing was Shelter, of course. Well, Mo and I actually played some Mario Maker 2. That's always really fun. I like
Oh,
playing
that
it.
is fun.
Yeah, I love that game. But yeah, as Shelter, really nothing big there. I've lost quite a few important dwellers in the last week just by, being stupid, like not checking in, sending them out to the wasteland with 25 stim packs and then not checking in for a couple days and be
What
like,
an
"Oop,
absentee overseer you are, sir.
oop."
Sir, where do you get off? You can be replaced, you know.
Well, the good thing is the pet brings back all of the stuff they collected. But like I mentioned a couple weeks ago, it does not bring back the actively equipped weapon or outfit that the dead dwellers are wearing. So I lost a couple of like level 7 strength outfits and some plasma rifles and stuff. And I'm like, man, I need to start sending these people out with worse weapons so it's not as much of a loss when they die. Because I don't care if the person dies. If they're not trained up, it's not a real big loss. If they've gone through the whole, like, getting all the specials trained up to 10, then, that's a big fucking deal if they die. But, like, if they don't have their specials trained up, who cares?
Yeah, so only have the weapons on characters that are doing quests, not just going out into the wasteland.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, just give them the medium weapons. But it's actually kind of a shock because I did that with 3 characters by sending them out into the wasteland a lot. No, 4. I lost 4 of people this week. And then 1 on a quest even because I was watching Curb Your Enthusiasm and Larry David was being too goddamn funny and I fucking was ignoring the TV and I was watching the other TV and stupid Larry David killed one of my dwellers. I blame Larry David. I was mad. I'm also kind of pissed that Shelter doesn't have a save, go back a function, reload this save. I know I understand the purpose and why not, but goddamn, sometimes I'm just like, fuck, I was just watching a TV show. Come on. Please, let me reload. But again, it wasn't a trained up person. Like they were level 35 or something and had a decent weapon on them, but the big loss is that the weapon won't come back. I don't care about them so much. I know. That's very considerate and overseer there, of course. But yeah, I don't really have much gameplay.
We're both focused. I mean, that's the thing. We're focused. We made a decision on Fallout 3.
And I didn't even prepare a game this week because I thought, well, no, we'll just be drawing characters and such. And Will's coming on. Maybe Will bring a game and stuff. So Will said he brought a game. So yeah, I don't need to waste any more time on the gameplay that didn't really happen anyhow. Do you want to draw some characters or play a game? What do you guys want to do?
Will, how long is your game?
It doesn't need to be. It's not very good. We may just abandon it.
No, it's the best one. Remember, I said at the top of the show.
Now he's tempting. Now you're tempting me just to, dive into this badness. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm warning you. Andrew was very much joking at the top of the show when he said that, because I put in the show notes, do not expect much, because I feel like this game went south on me. But we can do it. Or we can see how it goes.
Speaking of Mardi Gras, that's over, right? But it just happened?
No, it just started. This is not the main weekend. Next weekend will be the big
one.
weekend.
Okay.
And then a week from Tuesday is Fat Tuesday, Mardi Gras Day. But no, it's in high gear right now. There's like multiple parades.
Are you getting that king cake yet?
I haven't had a king cake yet. I've seen a lot of them. Cool. I did actually. I got online. I was going to try to send some to some friends, and the place, like one of the more popular places and stuff, like I was looked on, and like I got online and they're like, king cake orders are closed for the rest of the season. This was like 2 weeks ago.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So I'm not the only one who's like focused on cake. We have you on around Mardi Gras every year, if not during, like right around. And you always talk about the king cake. So that's why it was on my mind.
Yeah. So, and I have not had one yet. I definitely will be having. I'll be at my in-laws' house Monday for red beans and rice. I'm pretty sure we'll have some king cake there, and I'll have some more before we go. It's tradition. So.
With a weird plastic baby.
So the ideas that I had going into this one is they have that show. I think it's like Crime Scene Kitchen or something. Have y'all ever heard about that show? Seen that show? It's something where it's like just another food, like cooking show, where just contestants, they go into the kitchen and they're supposed to sleuth around the kitchen and look for clues and discover what was cooked there, and then recreate that dish based on the clue. Fallout 4 was the one we most recently played. I was going to give you guys some ingredients and see if you could figure out what we were crafting, like what was being made. It could be a chem or some kind of food or something like that.
Which game again? Was this 4 or 76?
Fallout 4. I actually have some written down for 76, because I went into this and I was like, all right, this is actually going to be really hard when I started writing these down. And so that's why I was thinking it was going to crash. I was trying to not get into the Fallout 3 stuff just yet, since we're not in that mindset and we don't have a fresh, playthrough Fallout 3 stuff in our head. But
I kind of appreciate that. Because we often do that at the beginning of a season. I'm like, you know what? Ask me that really good question in a week or two, and I'll be on it. Right. But it fades.
So I have a similar thing that we could have done and go, but it's Fallout 3, and I figure it was probably best to save that for when we're in that mindset. So I'm just going to tell you a few things here, and we'll probably stop this early. Just see if you can remember. So what you do is I'm going to list the ingredients, and you can tell me what we're cooking. It could be a food or a chem, and any kind of consumable.
Fallout 4. Okay, we got this.
Yeah. So this one, all this is 1 Brahmin meat.
Psyduck. That's my name.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I was like, huh?
Your name is
like,
1 Brahmin meat gives you prime rib.
Ribeye. We'll go with that. Yep. Let me write your name down. Oh gosh, especially when I got into 70, I was looking up like the s'mores recipe in Fallout 76. I was like, oh my God, these guys would never get this thing.
The s'mores has fucking concrete. I would get that one.
Okay, yeah, would you have? Well, actually, so concrete is more of a sub-ingredient of the razor grain flour.
Yeah, it's in the flour, yeah.
Yeah, so so if I had said bone, Brahmin milk, razor grain flour, spices, sugar, and syrup,
I would have nailed that. Yeah, because I went through a phase where I was making s'mores all the time and stocking my vending machine.
Oh, right. Yeah, because it was a quest.
I was role playing with when they get the the Pioneer Scout like outfit and
Yeah.
backpack. I was role playing that, and the vending machine was just full of s'mores all the time.
Well,
That
I
was fun.
apologize then for discounting you
Would've
and
nailed that.
everyone. And
He
I would
loves
be proud.
those s'mores. He'd always be out there getting the cattails, making the sugar.
okay, but all right. So back to Fallout 4 things here. So I have 3 corn, 3 mute fruit, sorry, 3 tato, and 1 purified water.
Does that give you vegetable starch?
That is the vegetable starch, yes. Okay, so we have 1 jet and 5 flamer fuel.
That doesn't sound appetizing.
It could be a chem. These are foods and chems. It's consumables, but pretty much everyone is either a chem or a food.
Jess,
Jess?
Ultra Jet?
No.
No. Okay.
Close. You're on the right path.
Yeah.
No one? Jet fuel.
I mean,
Which,
it's
you
in
know,
the name.
That makes sense.
Yeah, which I don't take many actually of the chems when I play. I always think I do, but then I don't. But that fuel actually seems pretty usable. It gives you like plus 35 max AP and then 10 AP recovery per second, and it lasts 8 minutes. So that sounds like a fairly useful one that I should be using more.
Sounds really rough.
Dare to resist, Will. Dare to resist.
Okay, let's see. 2 antiseptic, 1 blood pack, and 1 steel.
Jess,
Yes.
Stim Pack?
Stim pack, very good. Yay. Okay, 1 blood pack and 1 Deathclaw egg.
A good time.
No one would be the Deathclaw egg omelet.
Okay. Thinking maybe, but
Blood pack and an egg. Okay.
yeah, you would think like some cheese but no.
Actually, I tried to get rid of some of the super hard ones, but it felt like a lot of these were really hard anyways. But okay, so we have 1 rad stag meat, 1 gourd, 1 silt bean, and 1 vodka.
Okay. That's got to be a stew, right, you guys? But
Yeah.
I think
Venison
that
stew, right? Isn't it called venison stew or something like that?
try that, Andrew. Go for it.
Andrew, venison stew.
You know, they do
No.
have a venison type of thing. Think less complicated.
Rad stag stew.
Right, there you go.
Okay. That's what I thought it was. I mean, I said but it can't be that easy.
Okay, here we go. 1 mute fruit, 1 Nuka-Cola, and 2 whiskeys.
Come on, Ray.
I don't know. I just don't do enough crafting in the game. So
Yeah,
what
see,
is
I
that?
live at the crafting benches. That's why.
Sounds like a hot toddy to me.
Is it refreshing beverage?
It is not refreshing beverage. Not a bad guess. But it is a dirty wastelander.
Oh, yeah, I would have not gotten that one.
That's pretty dirty.
Yeah, okay. How about this? 1 carrot, 1 tato, and 1 dirty water.
That actually sounds good. Potato stew.
I was gonna say, is a vegetable stew, something like that, maybe?
Vegetable
soup.
medley?
I'll give that vegetable soup. I'll give that one. to
Okay.
Andrew.
Vegetable soup.
Yeah, that'll be close.
What's the technical difference between a soup and a stew? Soup is broth.
Viscosity.
Well, does a stew have meat in it usually? No.
And Ray, you're saying it's a viscosity. Soup is
Okay, 3 rad roach meat. That's it.
Disgusting.
Grilled rad roach.
Grilled rad roach.
I was gonna say roasted, but I was like, that doesn't sound right.
No,
What's the
no.
word?
Okay.
Pickled.
1 blood leaf, 1 carrot, 2 dirty waters, 1 squirrel bits, and 1 tato.
What?
I've certainly made it.
Sounds like
I-
squirrel stew.
It is
Yeah.
squirrel stew.
It's just, I keep thinking there's a fancier name for all these. It's the 76 in me, you know?
Etouffee.
Yeah, in 76, they got pretty complicated with recipes with like the fancy names after a while.
They did. I started looking through them because at first I was like, all right, this is too complicated, and that's why I started looking up the 76 ones. And actually, look, these are my 76 cards right here, and I was like, these are too ridiculous. Okay, here we go. Here's another 1 iguana bits and 1 wood.
That'd be iguana on a stick.
Iguana on a stick. Funny, I thought, I mean, it makes sense, I guess, but in doing these and looking at the 76 ones, iguana on a stick is craftable in Fallout 4, but it is not craftable in Fallout 76.
Are
Yeah.
iguana bits something you can pick up in 76?
Yeah, you got to do them chunky.
So, okay. 1 1 fertilizer, 1 plastic.
Jess,
Yes.
Jet.
Jet. Very good. Good job.
Nice. Good one.
Okay. Are we doing okay with this? Y'all want to stop? I have a few more here.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
A few more.
Okay. Well, okay. So we have one acid, one circuitry, one hub flower, and one stem pack.
Those goddamn hub flowers in Fallout 4?
Yeah. Circuitry,
What is it
stim
again?
One acid, one circuitry, one hub flower, and one stem pack.
Is that Day Tripper, maybe? What do you think?
Super stem. I don't know. Super stem's a 76 thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that would be two stem packs. Yeah, so that was Psycho.
Oh,
What? Say that again.
One
Circuitry, acid,
one acid, one circuitry,
hub flower,
one hub flower, and one stem pack. Yeah.
a stem pack. Weird.
So that hub flower must have like mental or like psychic things because I know that's one of the ingredients in like the grape mentats too. Okay, let's try this one. We only have a couple left, but we can stop whenever you like. One Abraxo cleaner, two brain fungus, three lead.
no. That one sounds painful. I can't even think of any chems right now.
Okay, I think the key ingredient on this one is the brain fungus, but at least that is brain cancer on a stick. Okay,
Mentats?
that's mentats. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Okay, one mongrel dog meat.
Grilled dog?
No. Close. I mean, basically.
Mutt chop?
Mud chop.
Mutt chops. Mutt chops. That's what it's called. Yeah.
Something? Yeah, mutt chops.
Okay. Two antiseptic, three glowing fungus, one plastic, one purified water.
Yeah. Jess, Radaway.
Radaway. That's right.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Good one.
Okay, let's see here. Let's see if you can get this one. I don't know. But one coffee tin, one dirty water, one oil, one Meyerlurk egg, and three razor grain.
What?
Coffee tin. That's the a key ingredient.
Coffee and Meyerlurk egg. Huevos rancheros.
No, close. Let's see. Slocum's Buzz Bites.
Okay. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
And actually, I didn't look this up, but I was wondering because it just says oil is in it. Do they have is cooking oil in Fallout 4?
Yeah, it's got to be cooking oil. I'm not.
Yeah.
We're not.
But it just
That
said
is what threw me
oil,
off.
but it didn't
Oil.
say yeah, but it just says oil. And I was wondering about that.
Yeah, it's a tall, skinny bottle.
Okay. All right, here we go. Last one. One Meyerlurk egg, one Meyerlurk meat, one oil, and razor grain.
Meyerlurk cake.
Meyerlurk cake. Good job, Andrew. Okay, so y'all didn't do as bad as I was expecting.
Just take some thinking, you know.
Yeah. I mean, because I tried to pick one where the clues are a little bit in there. There's some.
I couldn't even think of the name of like half the chems.
I know, it's hard. It was sort of mean of me to even throw that at y'all. But it was final score, unless I counted wrong, which I am prone to do. But it was 5 Jess, 3 Ray, 3 Andrew.
I actually think Andrew got more than me, but all good.
Whoa.
Yeah, I may have forgot to write them down. It's possible. I'm pretty sure I forgot to give Andrew points last time also. So I have a theme running. Apparently, I cheat Andrew points.
Will.
Yeah.
Rude.
That was not game time. What time was it?
Game time. So let's get characters rolled here, guys. Let's roll strong, roll proud. Ray, you have this whole shebang that you do with rolling and capturing images, posting them, and where do people go afterward to find the roll here if we roll them live on the show?
So I'll post them on the Facebook page and in the Fallout channel on the Discord.
Great place to find both.
Yeah, sounds good.
And looking ahead on this, I was thinking we have 7 rolls to do, but we've got our own as well. A lot of people participating have already rolled their characters in the Discord, especially people getting excited, getting started. We even have some people who haven't played Fallout 3 before. So that's always exciting.
So if you're in the chat and you've already rolled your character, post your stats. So while we're rolling and talk about the other ones, we can also maybe review yours that you've already rolled in the chat a little bit too. We always need stuff to chat about while Ray's clicking refresh.
Well, luckily, we're not going to have too many rolls on this one. So, do you want to do our characters first, or shall we start rolling for some of the people who requested them?
Yeah, let's start with one of us, but mix it up a little bit. You know what I mean? That'll be fun.
Sounds good.
Who wants honors?
I think you sound eager, Andrew. Let's just get right to it. Let's get the Andrew character if you're ready.
Try to jot some of this down, but I'll be harassing you later for my stats, I'm sure.
All right. How many rolls you want?
Let's make a general rule. If you're requesting a roll, let's keep it to like below 2 or 3, right? Come on.
Yep, that's what we're doing. Everybody who let us know the rolls, if they didn't say they're getting 2, if they did, they're getting 3 in most cases.
All right. So let's just go 2, right? I'll do 2 refreshes.
All right.
If we actually want to be random about it, we need to make a randomizer that randomizes how many roll, right?
But who randomizers the randomizers? Yeah, that sounds complicated, Andrew.
Yeah.
Okay, here comes your character. And remember, you get to pick your own name for these.
Okay.
We get our name. We pick our own name? Oh, okay.
So you've got a male character.
Male. That's unusual for me, so good.
So strength of 7, perception 8, endurance 3, charisma 7, intelligence 5, agility 5, and luck of 5.
I don't really know what that means for Fallout 3. You know what I mean? Is it a charisma and intelligence playthrough type of game, or a strength and endurance? Well, I don't really know much about it, so.
Honestly, it really can vary. They all have their strong points because they are connected to skills in a lot of cases. You get your action points from agility, you get your carry weight from strength. So having a strength of 7 is always a good place to start. I feel like endurance covers the most stats when it comes to a lot of resistances and your hit points and all that. But yeah, they've all got their
lowest.
Mm-hmm. Charisma really only affects your speech check. So once again, the speech skill is maybe more important than charisma itself in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and then, the other key is your tag skills. So you've got big guns, repair, and lockpick.
Oh, okay. Those are good. So those are all good ones to have. Big guns is a little bit harder than small guns, but I know you enjoy the occasional big gun playthrough.
So what does that mean in 3? Let's see. Is there the Fat Man, missile launcher, and minigun?
Yep, minigun, flamer, Gatling laser, the rocket launcher, which is like a prototype junk jet.
Oh, rocket launcher, right? Isn't it?
Rocket, yep.
Dash it launcher, yeah.
So the Gauss is just a rifle, or is that an energy weapon considered?
I think it's probably considered an energy weapon. I mean, I will say that big guns you kind of have to work your way up to. So even though it'll be a tag skill, you'll probably start with either small or energy and eventually switch to big guns. Yeah, it's one of those things. Small guns really covers almost everything in Fallout 3, just like in New Vegas.
Yeah, and you've got your level 2 skill or perk is going to be gun nut, which will give you a +5 to small guns and +5 to repair. So you'll have a really strong repair skill.
And what was his other perk?
His other perks were Fortune Finder and Adamantium Skeleton, which is also, it's a level 14 skill, but it's good for big gun plays. So, you're less likely to blow yourself up.
Yeah, that's damage taken by limbs reduced by half.
Goddamn Curie walking in front of me.
And Fortune Finder will get you more caps. So this is really a very open playthrough for you.
I can work with that. All right, who's up?
I want to hear his karma companion too.
So his karma is evil, and his companion is Jericho.
Well, so that fits.
Yeah.
Andrew, that's going to be different.
Yeah, I don't really know what that entails, but so I think I kind of forgotten there was a karma meter at all, so I'll have to remember how that works, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's kind of obvious, but...
Maybe you can be light evil, diet evil.
Why? Lean into it, man.
Lean into it with those big guns.
It's a little misguided.
You're going to get regulators either way, so...
What'd you say? I'm getting regulators?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mount up.
Mount up.
So
Okay,
the
so let's
regulators, that's opposite the Talon Merc
right.
company,
Yeah.
right?
If you're a good guy, you get the Talon after you.
And if you're bad, you get the regulators after you.
Oh, I see.
Once
Okay.
you're bad enough. Okay, let's roll a character for Lou. We got Lou coming in with wanting two
Uh,
rolls.
Happy Lou's getting a character. Awesome. Lou, two for Lou.
Right. All right. This one's perfect.
Well, good job, Lou. You're perfect. What's perfect about it, Ray?
All right. So the perfect thing is his perks.
So it's perfect.
Yes. Scrounger, Pyromaniac, and Cannibal.
Oh, wow. Okay, so Scrounger does more ammunition in containers. Pyromaniac, obviously, fire weapons help. And Cannibal,
And he can
I hope he
cook
has evil karma.
food.
Neutral.
Okay. Okay, so you can balance your people eating with people helping.
Yep. So you got to, for every person you eat, you got to go give somebody a bottle of water.
Second helping of people eating.
So female characters, strength of 7, perception 6, endurance 5, charisma 4, intelligence 5, agility 5, and 8 luck.
Okay, perfect. Wow, lucky
Tagging
too.
sneak, unarmed, and big guns.
Ooh, sneak, unarmed, and big guns. How does the unarmed work in
Really well.
3? Yeah,
So you've got all the usuals, like a boxing glove, spiked knuckles, but
Deathclaw
then
Gauntlet.
power fists, and I think there's even a legendary power fist, a named weapon.
Let's see, is that the love tap? No, that's the brass knuckles. The shocker. I never used that. But yeah, apparently the shocker is a legendary power fist you can get, or at least the named power fist in the flooded metro. Interesting. Cool. Well, enjoy that character. Well, let's go ahead and let's roll one for Bill next. Bill wanted 3 rolls if he could. And I'm going to be editing this after. So if we just have gaps while we wait for Ray to save and load, that's perfectly fine. We'll just cut them out.
Right. This one is Bill.
Now, Bill didn't express any preferences as far as the character.
All right. So he's got a male character, strength of 6, perception 7, endurance 9, 4, intelligence of 6, agility 4, luck 4.
Okay, so putting all those points into endurance. What does endurance work with? Endurance works with big guns. Endurance works with unarmed. Did you get either of those?
So he's got energy weapons, unarmed, and science.
Okay, so he might get punchy too. That'll be good with the high endurance for sure.
And then perks are demolition expert, fast metabolism, and grim Reaper sprint.
Oh, Grim Reaper Sprint. Is that a pretty high level one? That's up like 18
Level-
or 20, isn't
Level
it?
20. Yeah.
Wow. So that may not come into play till till near the end. Cool. Okay, let's get another roll in. Will, have you rolled your character yet?
I have not.
Well, Ray, do you want to get something for Will? Do you have any preferences, Will? Anything you're looking at?
No, just hit me.
All right.
I was thinking I would prefer not to be a cannibal, but if I have to.
Yeah, we haven't asked Karma and Companion on a couple of those too. There's a lot to cover here.
All right. So let's see here. So Will has a male character, strength of 8, perception 5, endurance 6, charisma 3, intelligence 7, agility 6, luck 5. Tags are repair, sneak, and lockpick.
Oh, that's fun.
Those are solid.
Yeah.
Intelligence 7, was that the highest stat?
No, strength of 8. 7
that-
intelligence is good.
That sounds good so far. Like my lowest stat is only a 3 in charisma, so I won't be very charismatic. But you were just saying beforehand, charisma doesn't seem as important as say like just speech does, right?
Yeah,
Right.
you can still run your speech up.
A lot of times the skills matter more than the perk. But Fallout 3, because you get skill points based on your level, so you get 10 plus your intelligence. So if you have a 7 intelligence, you're going to get 17 skill points per level, which is a big
okay.
deal. Yeah.
Oh.
So it really helps getting that up.
I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
And your perk assignments are toughness, which is a good one, bloody mess, and sniper.
Man, I think all this kind of works out pretty well, right? Yeah. I tend to be a sniper a little bit, so I don't know if that's stepping outside my zone like I'm supposed to with these, but
Well, So that'll be
So-
because you're going to have to be picking off innocent people.
Oh, evil.
Because your karma is evil and your follower is Clover.
Oh, she's evil too.
I don't know anyone who's ever played with her.
Did Pip-Boy Steve, did he make this so that if you get an evil karma, you get an evil, like
Yeah.
you will get an evil thing? Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, they're matched up. Since there's no karma requirement for Dog or Charon, when you get those, it doesn't
Yeah.
your karma doesn't matter. So you can get either of those on any karma, and then there's 2 each per the other setting.
Okay. So this definitely sounds like this sneaky sniper, since I have sneak and sniper both assigned to me.
Yep.
It sounds like we're going to be pretty evil so far.
Yeah, so far. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna get. I keep trying whenever I get these sort of evil things, and it doesn't quite work out the way I want it to. But gonna go for it. We'll see.
Okay, so let's see who we're going to do next. We've got Will and Andrew down. Let's get to it. Looks like Juan might play along. So let's
Okay.
roll Juan a character for her, right? Hey, do you want to live on the edge and do just like one refresh, close your eyes and click the button?
I can do that.
Okay. Drum roll,
One.
please.
1 for 1. So, before I forget,
We're doing that. Silior mentions what happens if the companion dies, reload or move on. Like always, it's personal choice, but I think since we're focused on DLC, it would totally make sense if you say, hey, we're going to move on, because you may not be bringing your companion with you for all the DLC anyway.
so Juan has a male character, strength of 5, perception 7, endurance 7, charisma 5, intelligence 5, agility 4, and luck 7. And his tags are speech, lockpick, explosives.
Oh, those are good ones. High luck, speech lockpick, explosive, all very useful.
And perks are finesse, educated, and tag. Another evil character.
I'm sorry,
with
Juan.
Jericho as the companion.
Wow, this is incredible. Pretty evil there.
Jess or Ray?
Ray, do you want to roll your own or you want to roll me?
Either way,
Okay, do me next.
how many you want?
I want to live on the edge too. I want 1 roll.
1 roll.
From where you are now.
Okay. So male character,
Cool.
strength of 5, perception 6, endurance 6, charisma 5, intelligence 9,
Wow.
agility 5, and luck 4.
Okay, that's a cool roll. Obviously, lots of skill points coming. I like that. A couple of 4s, no big deal. What are the tag skills?
Tag is energy, explosives, and big gun.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what's the earliest energy weapon you really get access to. It takes a little while. I mean, you can
Yeah.
get laser rifles, plasma pistols, but a lot of that doesn't really start dropping till you're fighting Enclave a bit more, get to Rivet City and such.
Which of these have to be established upon starting the character? All of the specials
And all the tag
Then-
skills.
and the tag skills. Those 3 have to be selected, but the perks you get to like cash in upon leveling up as you go, right?
Yeah, because they come in at different levels.
Okay.
So like Jess's perks, she's got chem resistance at level 16, toughness at level 6, and computer whiz at level 18.
Oh, wow. Okay, computer whiz. What does that do? I think you can hack a
You
terminal.
get extra chances on your hacking.
And did you say I had finesse?
No, toughness.
Toughness, not just extra damage resistance.
If I recall correctly, I think Nana Janet said in one of these past games you had to save before trying to hack a terminal because of was it this game that if you get locked out, you're locked out for life or something? Wasn't she saying that in one of the older games?
There might be a timer on it. You definitely get locked out.
Yeah, well, on this, I mean, according to the computer whiz, I don't know how it is. I mean, that's kind of what it says. It says can hack a locked down terminal for 4 more chances. Does that mean I don't know if that implies that if it's locked out, then all of a sudden it gives you 4 more chances.
Yeah, I'm curious to check that because I have this nagging feeling that maybe it is permanent. I haven't played in a while.
I don't know because I've never had a terminal get locked out because I always bail. So karma, good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Somebody has to do it.
Oh,
And companion, don't say
Okay.
Paladin Cross.
Fox.
Okay, Fox. I have to go pretty far to even get them, so I may not
Yeah.
even bother getting to Fox in the story. At least I get to be good. Sorry, people.
I was going to say it's going to be remembered as the evil season, not the not the Fallout 3 DLC. Yeah.
Up next, we have Thomas looking for a character. Let's give him two roles. I don't think he specified. It's funny not actually getting the names rolled on this one.
Yeah. Because one is it is funny because I think a lot of the times we sort of use that name as an inspiration for our backstory and stuff, right? To help us like spur a little bit of creativity and stuff in what we're doing. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to get all creative on my own.
Yeah, that it is different. I mean, technically, we could have gone and used the list from Fallout 4 or something again, but on this and the New Vegas character generator, we didn't add names.
All right. Thomas is playing a female character with 4 strength, 6 perception, 3 endurance, 4 charisma, 8 intelligence, 7 agility, and 8 luck.
That sounds like a great character.
Yep.
High intelligence, agility, and luck. As long as they have small guns or something good to go with.
Only
What
have
are the
3 in
tag skills?
endurance.
Science, sneak, and barter.
Hey, that's going to be interesting. Kind of a brilliant character. High intelligence, agility, luck, sneak, science, barter. So you can buy and sell. Buying and selling barter, I feel, means a lot in Fallout 3 because of the fact that you sell so much of the junk. Like you save some to make stuff with, but you sell so much of it. And in order to get the best equipment, get enough stim packs, it's good to be able to barter.
Yeah.
Is this a pick up all junk ratio 1 to 10 to value type scenario?
That's what I would think.
Carry weight is an issue, especially if you're not high strength. I like the 1 to 10. Yeah.
I was just even sitting here wondering, does Fallout 3 have the thing like Skyrim and Fallout 4 where you can be like, hey, Piper, can you go pick that up for me?
I don't think you're sneaking that way, no.
So on the perk side, Thief at level 2, and then nothing else until level 18 Computer Whiz and level 20 Grim Reaper Sprint.
What does Thief do? Does it make you a better pickpocket or something?
Plus 5 lockpick and plus 5 sneak.
Yeah, so that's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah, so this character is going to be very, very sneaky.
And is neutral.
Oh, cool. Did they get a assigned companion?
Butch.
Nice. Butch is another one that means don't get a companion until halfway through that Butch is even available. So you may not get them in time. But with the DLC, once again, doesn't matter quite as much. Okay, cool. Next up, we've got 3 more people to roll for, plus you, Ray. Before we roll you, let's do Leon. Now, Leon wants whatever he gets as long as he's a cannibal. So 3 rolls, but if you see cannibal earlier, stop there. And if not, he'll just add cannibal. He's in a cannibal kind of mood.
All right. Well, let's see what kind of luck he's got.
Need to put in the sound drop of the munch, munch, munch burp sound. Need to have that on the soundboard this season, I have a feeling.
Yeah, I do not have a cannibal sound effect.
Well, I would certainly hope not.
All right. We're at 3 rerolls with no cannibals.
Well, do you want to do the third and he can add cannibal?
Yeah, he can just swap cannibal out.
Let's go with this one then.
Are there certain things that he could roll that would be incompatible with cannibal? Like being a good person? Can you be a good cannibal?
You can be good or neutral.
Yeah.
But you're going to lose
have
karma.
To work at it. So this is a neutral character.
Okay.
All right.
See, that's a good balance for cannibal because it's not hard to get good karma. You know, I mean, I guess it's also not hard to get evil karma. I just don't ever want to do those things.
Yeah. The little, I don't know, when you were talking about the sound clip for it's cannibal, to use. I don't know why in my head I hear Ray voice from the Fallout, the terminal velocity where you did at Suffolk County Charter School, where at the end you're like, tasty.
So pull that one too.
Here's a fun fact about cannibal in Fallout 3. The animation time for the process of mounding down on a corpse takes twice as long as it takes to drink water from a sink. So it's a process. You can't just gulp that meat down.
But you do get health benefits and I guess HP replenished and
25 HP.
And is it like in Fallout 4? Well, I know in Fallout 4 you need a perk for it, but where you can like ghouls and super mutants and stuff, where you can eat them also.
I think it's humans and regular ghouls, not feral ghouls. I don't think you can ever eat feral ghouls in 3. Oh, by the way, if you eat in front of people, you're going to lose karma either way. And Andrew's going to say, wait, if nobody sees you, why do you lose karma? Well, I'm sorry. It's between you and Todd. Okay. So you're going to lose karma either way.
Yeah.
But if NPCs see you eating people, they'll usually turn hostile. So you kind of got to do this in private.
I don't think I understand. Is there a good, neutral, bad scale and a karma scale?
No, karma is good, neutral,
Okay,
evil.
okay. I misheard earlier. Then I was like,
The
wait.
thing that's missing here is reputation. So you don't have, in New Vegas, we had reputation and karma, and you don't have reputation here.
Okay.
All right. So we have a female character with a strength of 6, perception 7, endurance 6, charisma 8, intelligence 5, agility 5, and luck 3. And the tag skills are lockpick, energy weapons, and repair.
Oh, a lot of repair in there. That's going to be useful. Obviously, lockpick's always good. The fact we've had so few small guns, I mean, people can still put points into it, but when it's not tagged, it's going to take you longer to get it up. What are the perks?
Fast metabolism, intense training, and swift learner.
I feel like Jess is using extra innuendo tonight because I'm not pulling.
Because she's editing.
Because she's editing.
Not purposeful, but I realized for that one, I'm like, oh, thank God.
What about 12
Absolutely.
so far?
Intense training does +1 to any special stat. So that is a good one to raise that
Fast
stat
learner
quicker.
gives you like the quicker.
Yeah,
Was it
plus
not
10,
XP?
10% XP.
Yeah, so they'll.
Easy to level for sure. Awesome. And karma companions, you said neutral karma. How about companions?
Companions, Sergeant RL3, and none.
Cool. Sergeant RL3 is great because, I mean, you can pick them up pretty early if you just go down by 10 Penny Tower, that general area, down by the Robco factory and such. You can meet them. Do you have to pay to get RL3? In order to hire him, you don't just be like, hey, I'll take that robot off your hands, right? Like, I think you need actually pay.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we will. I think it's probably like 500 or 1,000 caps. Next up on the roll, well, he's been waiting patiently. Do you want to do Cilior?
Sure.
Okay, and didn't say how many rolls. I'm going to say 2. And Lee confirms RL3 is 1,000 caps. I think you can barter him down, but yeah, 1,000. That takes a little while to get up there. Okay, so what kind of character is Eric going to get?
A female character,
Cool.
strength of 5, perception 4, endurance 5, charisma 7, intelligence 6, agility 6, luck 7.
So low perception. That just means how far away you see enemies, mostly, right?
Yep.
How much they show up on the compass and stuff.
So they'll sneak up on you a little bit.
Were
Yep.
limiters put on the caps of the possibility of the numbers? Because I haven't heard any 1s or 10s yet.
I think 9 is the highest you can get on this as an outlier. I don't think we did any 10s.
Yeah. Because it's a 10 is a waste. Because then, if you get the bobblehead, you can't
We'll get
use
the
it.
bobblehead, right?
And we had to be a little bit, in order to make it so you could get certain skills, we had to keep the spread reasonable too. Now, in order to get perks, it's not just like, oh, you're level 2, you get all the level 2 perks open to you. Like, for instance, if you want Thief, you got to be level 2, but you also got to get Perception of 4 and Agility of 4. So there's a special requirement for a lot of the perks. So that's why we tied the perks you get to the special you get being within, I think, 2 maximum, so that you don't have to have that high fairness factor that you get in Fallout 4, where we're a little bit crueler.
But you still have to pay attention because, like his first perk is Little Leaguer at level 2, which has got a strength of 4, already has a strength of 5, so he's good there.
Little Leaguer, yep.
But at level 16, Chem Resistant has a requirement of a medicine of 60. So you've got to plan for that. Level 20 perk is Ninja, which needs a melee of 80 and a sneak of 80.
Wow. So this character sounds a bit, I mean, they're high level, so do well before he gets there, but sounds a bit melee-like with chem resistant. What did you just say? He got Ninja, right?
Yep.
And Little Leaguer is also kind of melee. So what are the tag skills?
So tag is speech, explosives, and medicine.
Okay. And karma?
This is the first time we've had this karma. Write your own path.
Write your own path. Oh, cool. So did we give him a companion or dog with that?
Nope.
Kind of awesome, but it does sound very melee. And he says he only plays female characters when we roll them, so that's cool.
What kind of hippie new age nonsense is that? Choose your own path. Come on.
Because there's only like 3 possible things and only so many companions, like it's a little bit more limited. We said, okay, we got to mix it up a bit. So we did that.
Who else? Anybody else needs to draw?
Yeah, we've got a couple
Ray
more
got a
rolls.
character.
We've
Jeff's
got
got a
Ray
character.
and Jeff.
Ray needs one, and Jeff. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So let's get Jeff. I'll go last. And how many rolls do we have on Jeff?
Jeff wanted a full 3.
3. All right. Come on. There we go. Didn't want to let me rename the file. So Jeff has a female character with a strength of 7, perception 3, endurance 5, charisma 8, intelligence 7, agility 5, luck 5. Tags are energy, medicine, and an arm.
Huh. Okay, neat. Yeah, and once again, tag skills is what you're tagging. You're going to get the extra 15 skill points into it right at the start.
So perks, we've got Iron Fist, which goes with his unarmed.
Mhm.
Lead Belly, so doesn't have
That's
to
less
worry about
rags
what
from
he's
food like
drinking.
usual. Mhm.
And then Chem Resistant.
Okay, chem resistant again comes up to 16. And he had medicine as a skill?
Yeah,
Okay, then those
which
all
is
go
good
together
because,
well.
yeah, Chem Resistance, you need to be a medicine 60.
And lead belly is just, okay, that's just water. It's not food in general in this one. It's just water.
Yeah. Karma is evil.
Oh no.
And another Clover is a follower.
Cool. This is going to be the most clovers we've had, I think. I've never, ever used her. So, yeah, I don't know. You find her in Paradise Falls, which of course isn't as hard to get into if you're evil. And finally, we have Ray. Now, Ray already knows. He's going to act like he's rolling, but he already knows what he's going to play. He got it all set up over there.
Where'd I put that file? No. I'm rolling. Thank goodness I didn't get entomologist.
Would that bug you, Ray?
Yes, it totally would. Oh, no.
How many times you played this game, Ray?
Not a ton. Probably only like 5 or 6 times.
That's a bunch.
It's definitely the least for some of us. This will only be like my 4th playthrough. This will be your 3rd, Andrew, right? Or, I mean, 2nd, really, since the first one doesn't count.
Yeah, it was just sort of a run through it as fast as possible. Sort of so the same thing I did with Starfield. Why do I do that?
All right. So I have a female character. Out of the box, we're going to have some challenges. So we've got a strength of 3, perception 5, endurance 5, charisma 8, intelligence 6, agility 6, luck 7. And tag skills are melee, lockpick, and explosives.
Oh, some melee with a 3 strength.
Yeah.
That-
That's going to be a waste.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just cram more skill points into it.
Mhm.
So perks are Bloody Mess. Always love Bloody Mess. Action Boy, or in this
Nice.
case,
Perfect
Action
action
Girl.
boy.
And not sure how we'll ever get to this one, but at level 18, the perk is Infiltrator.
Infiltrator. And you can pick broken locks,
Yeah, so I can pick a broken lock with 1 more bobby pin.
but you need high perception.
Oh,
Perception 7, so
And by the time you get up to level 18, who knows? You may be able to get that.
yeah.
That's a really interesting spread. I mean, the thing about perks, there are a lot of perks. Like you're getting the assigned perks here, but there are what? There are like 50
oh
some
gosh,
regular
there's
perks.
a lot. Yeah.
And you can
Yeah.
get special perks in the DLC as well.
Yeah, so fortunately, one of the good things about having your assigned perk so high in level
Mhm.
is that it gives you plenty of time in between to get the good perks. So in the drastically different attributes section, I've got good karma.
No way.
And my companion is Star Paladin Cross.
Oh man. Like I like her, But I have to tell you, I had her sign last time, and I was so sick about hearing how it was like my dad every 15 minutes by the end. I'm like, no, just please be quiet. Yeah, I'll be happy to just have dog meat. And once again, in this, I mean, the majority of our play, we won't even have the companion with us if they can't come on any of the DLC.
Is there any value to sitting down and doing that level mapping exercise that we did for Fallout 4?
So you can't do the one that you do for 4, but you can do the one that we did for New Vegas. So it is helpful to plan out your skills, either to get to the requirements for the ones you have assigned, or to get to the requirements of the perks that you want for your playstyle. So, figure out which perks are going to work, and then plan your skill points assignments. So it's going to be a little more important for me because I'm only going to have 16 skill points every time I level up versus, somebody that's getting 19. But you just plan out so that you don't get to a point where you're ready to take a perk that's going to be perfect for your play style and find out that you're woefully lacking in requirements.
Right. And let's see. So Swift Learner helps you with the XP gain to kind of make up for that. Comprehension is good to get early because that gives you an additional skill point whenever you need a skill book. So
Yep.
comprehension is a really good perk to get early.
Yeah.
And of course, educated will get you more skill points per level. That's like 3 right there. So it's well worth it. But it probably would be good, Andrew, to actually take and make a list of at what level you can get things and what you need to get there and then plot in between a little bit. There's benefits both ways. So the thing about Fallout 4 is it's great to map out ahead of time because you level quite often. So you keep getting stuff thrown at you and it's good to have a plan. In Fallout 3 or New Vegas, because you level so much slower, it's okay being a little bit deliberate. You're not going to be making wrong choices suddenly, but still definitely good to map it out either way, I think. I'm with you.
And to level 20, level 30?
Original game, you topped out at level 20. Broken Steel added 10 levels to your maximum level. And then I believe you got 5 more for each DLC after that.
All right. Do we have other items of business? Is there iguana bits and such to get to this evening?
Honestly, I don't have a whole lot more to cover, you guys. I'm just excited to dive into Fallout 3 and get all in there. So I mentioned last week that the Fallout 76 update was coming out. There was an update on Tuesday. Smaller, just a bug fix update mostly as they prep for the big one. But a couple things that they fixed. The XO1 power armor is finally giving you the proper rad protection. Should be. What else do we have? Basically bug fixes and texture fixes. Atlantic City. Oh, the Mirelurks. Mirelurks, if people who haven't played, like I haven't played much, but the Mirelurks have been friendly on you. A couple months, really.
What?
The Mirelurks stopped being angry at you.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so if you got a Mirelurk spawn, they'd all be happy and glowing.
I'm Aquaman, friend of the sea creatures.
And they have unfortunately made them aggressive yet again.
Oh, bummer.
Beyond that, birthday cake now counts towards a daily challenge to eat cake, pie, or candy. You can actually eat birthday cake to count towards that challenge.
That was
silly things.
when that didn't count.
Also, Andrew, you'll be happy about this. Spooky treat bags, gifts, and mole miner pails now give you ammo again. Contextual ammo to what you're holding.
No, that was stupid. They took that away.
So apparently that was not working as intended. We thought they changed it.
Whoops.
Whoops. It happens. Also in the pit, if you jump inside the toxic vat of green goo in the foundry, you will now instantly die. There was a little while you could jump in and just kind of hang out.
That's too bad.
But yeah, that's it. It's all bug fixes and little things like that.
Alrighty, sounds good.
Beyond that, we know the next update is coming on March 26th. And so we talked about it a little bit last week. Going to get the new quest line in Atlantic City. You're going to get a bunch of stuff to do. And it's looking pretty great. Also, I'm hearing from people who have looked at the data mined next season. That next season is going to be a really fun one. I haven't had a chance to look into that myself. So, sorry, I'm just reporting what I've heard. But yeah.
I don't believe it for a second.
It's funny. People have different tastes too. Like I really enjoyed this Atlantic City season with some of the casino theme stuff. But most people have said, now this one's a letdown. So I like a few things about it. But next I'm hearing is better. So we'll take a look.
I just want that neon light Tron style paint job on my power fists and stuff, you know. I think it's dumb that they limit paint jobs to specific weapons.
I mean, I agree that it would be awesome to have more weapons. Someone has to design it for each one. You know what I mean? It's not like you can just slap the same glowing thing onto every weapon and the glowy bits will be in the same spots.
Let's task an AI to put the paint job on various weapons and see what happens.
You know, I may not be in favor of AI for many artistic things, but I would love to have more things available for more weapons.
But I saw people doing the boat thing, building docks and yachts and that sort of fun stuff. So that's cool. We need to go get on a boat.
Yeah, the boat has been proved to be a really popular item. The dock is hard to build with, though. People haven't tried using the dock. It can be a little bit, you know how some resist snapping?
Oh, that sucks.
It definitely does. But also,
catch that, guys. Come on.
Yeah, we'll make everything easier to build, please. Object intersects with other objects? No, thank you. No more. But the Burning Love Challenge event is going on right now for Valentine's Day. There's a reward each week for getting at least 4 days of the challenges in. You get a reward each week. If you get both weeks, you get a bigger reward. It is going to be double score weekend right now as we speak. So if you are trying to get the scoreboard done, you got plenty of time, but it is double score this weekend. So get a chance to play. That's good. And Fastnacht will be starting in less than 2 weeks. Yeah, we have a countdown of 11 days to Marching with Robots. So get ready, get excited.
So you're listening live. You can still get this week's Sunday, Monday. But anyone listening to this podcast, you're too late.
Yeah, right. Because Jess is editing this week, which means most likely today.
Do it before noon tomorrow. Yeah.
This is what you could have had. Yeah, but that's it for the bits. I don't have much.
Cool. All right.
I think that about wraps it up. Anybody have anything else they want to cover tonight?
All right. If you would like to look up your stats, if Ray rolled them for you, look for them in the next couple of days on Facebook and in the Discord. And they should be there before too long. And good luck getting all your characters started, everybody out there. Got a couple of weeks before we'll check in on. So, yeah, next week, what are we doing?
We're going to jump right into our first week talking about our characters and quests. So because there's no need for an extra week to be like, hey, this is how my character is. You can combine that with your actual initial feedback. So we'll talk about kind of how we're playing our characters, what we're thinking this week, and then people can send in their feedback about how they're playing their characters the week after, and just combine that with what you've been doing.
Coolio.
This may be the most ever destructions of Megaton.
Oh no! Oh my gosh, you guys are all like Sergio. It's not worth it. Evil. Sarah and I will be rolling our eyes at you.
Very cool. All right, you guys. Then on that note, you can find him at Will Wonka on Twitter. Is your Insta the same, Will? Where do you lurk these days?
Well, nowhere, honestly. I'm Will Pat Wonka on Instagram, but that's really more just like skateboarding. I did my little virtual photography stuff on Twitter when I was active on it, but I hadn't really been active anywhere lately.
Nice.
I'm also sometimes, I'm Old Man Night on Instagram. I'm not, but like it's a group of us. We're bunch of old skateboarders that do stuff. So featured on that a lot as an old man skateboarder.
Oh boy, that's what I like to hear. All right, well, thanks for hopping on tonight.
Oh, thank you.
You can find him at Ray LB, also at BBCISSS for all your No Man's Sky need. And if you'd like to listen to Ray's thoughts on Skyrim, listen to that on a Skyrim Addict. Ray, thanks so much for hopping on tonight.
Good times.
Jess can be found at Sleep is 4T and at You Wastelanders and at Dames Who Game. Jess, thanks so much for hopping on.
Glad to be here.
I can be found at Indie Android, and the show is at the Fallout Feed. I'd like to thank everyone for downloading this edition of the Fallout Feed. We will see you in the Capital Wasteland.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the Roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout feed, a Skyrimatic podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the wasteland.